Alrighty, so we got the 2016 X Diavel S. Brand new bike. A lot of people ask us what is different from the standard version, non-X Diavel. And actually, there's really barely anything that's common aside from the name and the tires. All new motor, all new chassis, steel tank on this one. Completely different exhaust. The motor has variable valve timing. It's bigger displacement. It's, I believe, a 1265 officially, somewhere in there. Big one, forward controls, whole different tailpiece, yada yada yada. I knew I was gonna like this bike before I even rode it the first time, because since day one I said forward controls would be nice on a bike like the Diavels, and at first Ducati kept saying no, but then they finally put it on this one, and we all love it. This bike does have cruise control standard now. It's got launch control, it's got the riding modes, all kinds of good stuff. And normally you have a key fob that the bike senses, you just press the button and it goes, but I forgot to grab it, so I'm gonna bypass that system manually. So first we gotta turn the ignition on down here. It takes it a second to wake up, and after it wakes up you just have to put the pin in. There we go, I put the pin in and we are good to go. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That's your start, that's your ignition, so we're gonna have to do that one more time. Turn on the ignition, wait for a couple seconds for it to wake up, insert the pin, and fire the bike up. Whole new dashboard as well. We got a fuel gauge, we got a nice tachometer up front, gear position, and then our speedometer all up here. The S models I'm going to show you have a really cool daytime running light. It's kind of hard to see now in the light, but this is a very bright LED, so that's very, very nice. S model also gets the beefier brakes up front, the M50 calipers, nicer wheels. The bike is a belt drive now, which is very nice and smooth, also a little quieter. And we do have the monster fat 240 tire, which Ducati claims Pirelli designed specifically for Ducati for the original Diavel. We're going to Pita House today, as soon as Mike comes out and joins me. The foot pegs, as a matter of fact, you can see it closely here, they're adjustable, so you can slide them forward a little bit or back to make the bike a little more comfortable for you. Mike will ride the 2009, I believe, Hypermotard 1100S. It's got the nice Termi exhaust on there, so it's gonna sound nice and good. Mike, just put it in your pocket, come on. That's Mike's contribution to the show. The buttons are backlit, as you can see. It's very nice. All the small features that really make the bike great. We are pretty much sold out of these, have been for the last few months. But if you want one, you might have to put a deposit and wait for a little while to get it. Not too long, because they are in the country, but you don't expect to just walk up and have one ready for you. At least not this year. Alright, so let's take it for a spin. I hurt my foot power shifting on the Monster. I think I pulled something here, so I'm going to be riding it rather slow today. So here we go. You can definitely tell the belt makes the whole bike feel slightly smoother and quieter. And for a bike like this, it's really a nice way to go, because you're not going to be changing gear ratios anytime soon. It's geared pretty alright. So yeah, it just makes you hear the motor a little nicer, and makes the bike feel a little smoother. I used to work for Harley Davidson dealer before I came to MCC, and so I had no problem with forward controls. I was used to them at Harley, you know. So for me, this is very natural feeling. A lot of people have a hard time getting used to it right away, but you do get used to it fairly quickly, having your feet out in front of you. And this bike, I mean, has no problems in the handling department. Ducati claims 40-degree lean angle, which is really really a lot for a street bike. You're rarely gonna push it there. Ow, that hurt my leg, that hurt my leg. Owie, that hurt my leg a lot. Anywho, this was in touring mode, which is right in the middle. It gives you the full power when you go wide open, but a little softer throttle response, which is nice. And remember how I always cry and whine about the on and off with the transmissions, how some of the Ducatis are kind of clunky. Well, this one, again, partly because of the belt and the fueling too. I mean, it's very, very smooth, which is really pleasant. It's a pleasant bike to ride. It's nice and soft when you want it to be, but if you want to give the sport bike guys for the run for their money, you absolutely can. Which is very funny, because I remember one time when I was riding our demo bike home, Eduardo, who turns out to be my neighbor, was riding that very Hypermotard on Lakeshore Drive. And if he ever watches this video, it'll be kind of funny, because he'll remember exactly what I'm talking about. How I caught up to him on Lakeshore Drive. This was late at night, and we took the exit and we sat next to each other, these very same bikes. Just kind of goes to show you how small the world has gotten. Yeah, that was a blast. And then Eduardo traded that bike for a Multistrada, and I hope he loves it. Which he does. It's a good bike. Yeah, the turn signal buttons are slightly different now. On the older ones, you know how you had to select the modes with the turn signal button, so when you pressed it more than once, if you already canceled it and you just wanted to make sure it was off, you would pop up your riding mode menu, which a lot of people did not like. So on this one, they changed the whole housing. They got new buttons, as you can see, so you can press it as much as you want to make sure your turn signals are off. But really what I like about this bike is that you can just cruise on it like I'm doing right now, and you can also ride it aggressively. A lot of just about every other Ducati I've ridden, you really can't do that. It's really kind of on and off, very passionate, but you really can't cruise on it and kind of kick back. This bike, I got my feet right in front of me, I'm relaxed, I'm riding with one hand on the bar, and there's no particular need to go fast. Ducati markets this bike as slow excitement, or slow speed excitement, and it really is. It's a fun bike to ride fast, and also a fun bike to ride slow, which is nice. Ducati did a great job with this bike. Everybody loves it. We get new people to Ducati that get it. We get Harley people that like cruisers, older, younger, you name it. Here we go, into the turn we go. No drama, no problem. I don't feel like I'm pushing the bike. It's super easy. It's not fighting me. You do feel the fatter tire in the back, but very slightly. I mean, I can have one hand on the handlebars and the bike is gliding itself. And that's really Ducati for you. They really take the time to make sure the bike handles the way it should. A lot of new things on this bike for Ducati, you know, forward controls, a rear brake that actually works, belt drive. Very interesting. And now I have been told there was one little problem thus far with these bikes, if we're honest, let's put it out there. Apparently if you running low on gas, you come to a pump and you fill the bike up without turning the ignition off, it will mess up your fuel gauge. Now I've yet to do that to see if that's true or not, but apparently some people said the fuel gauge does not like that. And also me and Mikey tried using the launch control on this bike before the first service, and it did not like that either. It threw the engine code on because the ABS sensors on the front wheel and the back wheel were not cooperating and not talking to each other the way they should have. So yeah, if you try to use launch control before the first service, you might upset the check engine light. We got a nice day today. It's rather warm. It's got to be about 70s or so. I mean, I'm riding, I really shouldn't admit this, without my jacket. Just got my Ducati hoodie or whatever the hell it is, the fleece on, but I'm pretty warm and comfortable. They do make handlebars that are slightly closer to you, which I would like because my hands are kind of short, so I do feel a little bit of a reach. on these bars, but not a big one. Alright, let's catch this bastard here. Ah boy, where's the policia? We got policia behind us. I really shouldn't. Oh, fuck it. Fun fact, and I'm not 100% sure about it, but I'm pretty sure. Hypermotard 1100 SP was the very last bike in Ducati's lineup that you could get with a dry clutch. 2012 Hyper SP. I don't know if they had an S model in 12, but if they did, then both of them were the last bikes that gave you the dry clutch. And if you watch the video this far, please do comment and let us know what you think, or what bikes you would like us to talk about, and give you our feedback on it. Yeah, we kind of talked about the faults of this bike. Some people will say it's expensive. Well, Ducati is a premier brand, and I mean, if you're in the market for this kind of bike, I don't know what a good alternative would be to save money on. You won't get this level of refinement and fit and finish with really any other bike that I can think of off the top of my head. And the features too. Now again, the heat, that's a big one with Ducatis. A lot of them, as we know, run hot on the back cylinder. This bike, I have not ridden it on a hot day yet, but again, day like today, 75-ish, I don't feel any heat. I took the seat off. They did put that reflective foil shit underneath. It seems like that's working. But yeah, I've never been stuck in stopping with traffic on this bike, but again, just cruising on a daily basis, feels like the heat management is there. This is a fun bike to ride, it really is. If you're looking at V-Rods, Rocket 3s, X Diavels, I think it's pretty obvious which one to get, although I love all three of those bikes, I really do. V-Rod is just a little outdated by today's standards and is a bit of a pig. Rocket 3 is just a different kind of bike. X Diavel is very, very easy to ride. It's very smooth, it's very predictable, very progressive. I mean, it's a joy to ride, it really is. It does not tax you, it's a blast. It really is. Doesn't ask much in return. So here's Pita House. Good food, I like it. I get the lunch special #2. I recommend you give them a shout. So we'll take one spot because we're from Europe and we're efficient. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you when we are full of food. MotoVas. Taking the clover leaf, probably got, I don't know, 25% lead angle, so we got another 15 degrees to go. Amazing motorcycle from Ducati. He got some miles on us. Oh, there he is right there. Oh god, I broke it. Now I have ridden this bike with a passenger. A very nice sized girl. Oh, no, in a good way. Skinny. Not skinny, just right, just right. Nice. Nice girl. Nice body. And point is, we got our demo bike without the optional backrest that it comes with. And she said it was fine. She said she was rather comfortable back there. She was holding on kind of tight because, you know, this is a quick bike and there is a short seat. But she said it's not that bad on the back of this bike. I think some of it is an illusion because the back seat has a strap, the grab strap for the passenger, and it kind of cuts the seat in half, so on the eye it makes it look like the seat is actually smaller than what it really is. Whoop. But she said she was alright back there and she liked it. So there you go, nice 2-up bike as well, although it may not look like it. Now MV Agusta Dragster, that's a different story. Do a burnout! Big mistake. I always get Mike in trouble, I always do. So our ride is coming to an end. Whoop. Thank you for watching. We'll do our best to edit this. Some have said that the rear suspension is kind of stiff. But they do come pretty stiff from the factory, so you can soften it up a little bit. I don't think it's that bad. But anyway, thank you for riding with us. We are back at beautiful MCC. Come visit me and Mikey and Jen at the shop. And we wish you farewell. Harley Davidson Rocker C. Not many of those around. MotoVas.